Today's video is going to be a little different than normal. If you've been on my channel for the last 2 or 3 years, you'll know that I've never used a mod for any of my Minecraft maps, as I find the joy in building in Minecraft by only using the things that are made available to me. I've never once relied on a mod, a resource pack, or any additional editing. Maybe a little less on that one as I have used it for sound effects in the past, but the point is that I've never relied on a mod for any of my maps to work. Well, today I'm going to go the complete opposite route, as what I've done is installed the Management Wanted mod, and I'm going to be making my own custom FNAF pizzeria by using the different items that are in this mod. I've never touched this mod before and I know almost nothing about it, so I'm honestly looking forward to seeing what this is going to look like. Already, if I go ahead and open up my inventory, I can see that there's an arrow here. And there's a lot of different tabs that I hear. So we've got one just for arcades, surveillance pack. There's camera systems. Okay, that's going to be interesting to see. I pride myself on my camera system, so let's see if this mod did it better than I did. There is so many. What are even all of these blocks? Who needs this many blocks? I like the different colors though. I'm probably going to mess around with some of these actually. Some plushies here. Am I here somewhere? I've read a lot of comments of people calling me the Minecraft FNAF guy, so come on devs, where am I in this list? I need to be here. I don't know how long it's going to take me to actually figure out what I'm going to build, but it looks like there's a lot going on here. So before I do get started, I want to remind you that if you do enjoy this video and want to see more custom modded builds like this in the future, make sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on. That way don't miss out on the next time I upload, and you can also help the channel to continue to grow. I'd also like to mention that at the time of this video being uploaded, there are only a few days left for you to support the makeshift plushie. So if you want this CuppaTeaExe makeshift plushie to come to life, be sure to use the link in the description down below and in the pinned comment where you can turn this plushie to life. I don't have a physical copy on me right now, so you can just see what he's going to look like as if he were real. Once again, the links will be down below, but without any more further ado, let's go ahead and get started building. So the first thing I should probably do is just start by building a platform in the sky, so that way I at least have space to work with. If you've watched my videos, you know that I always do this. I build all of my structures up in the sky, so that way if I want to make any basements or anything underneath the build, I'm going to have the space to do so. As if I were to just build it on the grass down here, it would reach bedrock and I probably wouldn't have any space to do anything at all. Yeah, that's plenty of space. So what I want to do is shape this pizzeria as if it were an actual slice of pizza. I don't know how many of you have read the Tales from the Pizzaplex books, but in those book series, the Mega Pizzaplex was shaped like a giant pizza, and it was sectioned off as if there were different slices. And I think that's exactly what I want to do for my pizzeria. Now I just need to figure out what blocks I want to make the walls out of, as there are so many things going on here. It's probably going to take me more time to look through the inventory than it is to actually build the pizzeria itself. Alright, I think I've found a mix of blocks that I like. So the outer ring of the circle is obviously going to be the exterior wall of the entire pizzeria. I'm not going to work on the exterior just yet, but I do really like this beige tan kind of color. So this is what the outside walls are going to look like. And what I'm going to do is make 2 entrance doors on either side like that. And then the interior of the pizzeria is going to use these purple blocks here, as I really like the look of it. And I want to make this as colorful as I possibly can. Most FNAF locations are just dull. They have the normal black and white patterns all over the place, maybe some hints of red. I really want to just go all out with this. I don't want to make this a overly massive pizzeria, but I really do like these colorful blocks here. So I'm just going to get started outlining the entrance to the pizzeria, and I'll come back in a few minutes once I've actually outlined what I'm going for here. Also, yes, I know I'm placing blocks by my hand manually, even though I have World Edit installed. You can call me out for that in the comments if you want. If anything, I recognize that as well. However, I'm just going to keep on doing this, as you know, the fun in Minecraft is actually building, and there's no fun in it if you're just going to let World Edit do it all for you. Now, instead of outlining the entire pizzeria all at once, what I've gone ahead and done is added a border around the entire thing, which is what the outer walls are going to be, and then I've outlined what I think the lobby should look like, which is what this semicircle wedge shape here is going to be. So we're going to have an entrance on either side, maybe an entrance and an exit, but most importantly is going to be right here in the center part, which is going to be the reception booth. Now for the walls themselves, I'm using something what I haven't really done before, as because this is a mod and I don't really know what's going on here, I don't want to use a lot of the same block. So what I'm doing is alternating different types of blocks. So you can see here I've got big purple facade bricks and purple facade bricks. So since I don't want it all to look the exact same, what I'm doing is alternating between the two blocks so that way there's still a little bit of texture going on without it looking too bland at the same time. So I'm still using the same types of blocks, however I'm just trying to give the wall a little bit more detail without overdoing it, as I still don't know what I'm doing with this mod just yet. I'm quickly starting to realize that this video isn't so much about the mod, but really just how I go about building things, which I guess isn't really a bad thing. I guess I don't really go over my build style too often, so again, if you do enjoy these types of videos, be sure to let me know in the comments, and I guess I should also add some sort of door to the entrance. Why are there so many? Okay, so these work really well. Ooh. I like that. Actually, I quite like that, actually. Alright, so to finish up the actual room of the lobby itself, I've gone ahead and added in this darker block for the ceiling. That way it doesn't take away from what's really important, which is going to be the walls, the carpet, and what I'm going to be moving on to next, with that being the decorations. And I got to be honest with you, I don't even know where to start. Let's start with some cutouts. Let's put one on either side. Okay, they rotate to face towards me. Whoever programmed that into the mod, good on you. That is very convenient, actually. Let's go ahead and put one on either side like that. Yeah, it's just a good start. I'll put a clock right here in the center of the wall. And then for the exit signs, I guess I just put one like that right there. Yeah, that works really well. And then finally, to finish it off, let's put some posters there. And then like that. Oh, that one doesn't... Of course, that one had to look a bit different. Alright, we'll go with two Freddies. I'll put a gumball machine in the corner. Oh no, I should have the gumball machines at the entrance. I'll put one on either side like that. I can find something else to put there in the center. I'm just going to keep on putting some presents around the place. And then I'll see what I can do for the wall decorations. I saw a whole lot more posters and such, so I'm probably just going to spend a lot of time just going through the decorations. Bloody hell, that caught me off guard. Hanging lamp. Okay, that looks good. Lava lamp. Cool. Hanging lamp chained. What do these look like? Okay, do I... Oh, okay, nice. Actually, gives it a nice warm lighting. I feel like I should add a bit more to it, just so that it's not as dark as it is right now. Okay, I like these shelves, actually. Oh. Oh. How do I... Where? Okay. Put that there. Does paper go on the wall? Yeah, it does. Alright. Put some on either side like that. So let's go ahead and put these... That's pretty cool. Does the phone call? It does not. I'm gonna move these again, just because, again, taking up a lot of space, actually, now that I think about it. Let's put those there. Let's move these one block lower. Yeah, that doesn't look as bad. I think this is where I'm going to leave it, actually. I don't see anything else that I really need right now. Let's go over everything again. This is just this section of the pizzeria, which is already taking up a decent amount of space now that I look at it. However, we do have a lot more space to actually work on the more important parts of the build. So what I'm going to do now that I finished up the lobby is I'm going to properly outline the different rooms, so that way I can get a better idea of what the layout of the pizzeria is going to look like. Alright, I think I like where I'm going with this. So, as I mentioned earlier on, I'm taking inspiration from the Circleplex, where everything is sectioned off inside a big circle like this. So as you can see here, I've outlined each room in a different color, where the green outlines on either side are going to be two arcade rooms, the yellow outlines are going to be the bathrooms. I've decided to make the pink outlines the two different party rooms. Now the three at the top are going to be either the kitchen, the backstage, and the security office. I'm not sure which one is going to be which yet. However, I'm pretty sure that this larger one here is going to be the kitchen, and I think having a smaller security office and backstage isn't really going to be a bad thing. But most importantly, I've decided to put the stage in the center of the big pizzeria, I guess, instead of just being in the corner of the room. As most pizzerias always have the stage just cornered off somewhere, I decided, since I'm making this a giant circle, why not have the stage in the center of the circle, so that way I can have a big glass dome on top of it, so that way sunlight can shine through and just light up the surrounding area even more. So I've already put a smaller stage right here. I might make this a bit bigger depending how much space I have to work with. I think the first thing I'm going to work on is going to be the arcade rooms, since they're the biggest rooms here aside from the main party room, and there's an entire section dedicated to arcades here. So I think this is where all of the decorations are really going to start amping up. I'm going to see how I'm going to work with this. Alright, so I finished with the wall, and I do think this is what I'm going to go with. I might add some windows on this side, just so we can see the exterior of the building. But that got me thinking what to do about this wall, as I want this to be a wide open area, but I feel like I'm sectioning things off a bit too much by having an entire wall here. So what I'm thinking is, what if I make a giant window? I actually really like this. I think I'm going to go with that, actually. I actually really like this. So we're still able to see into the main stage through the party rooms. I'll probably do the same with the other rooms as well. But just having this window here actually makes a lot of difference. So that way, it's still a wide open area and we can see what's going on, while still having these sectioned off rooms for each of the different themes for each room. Yeah, there we go. There's not a lot of windows in any FNAF location, so I'm really trying to spice things up a little bit. Maybe if I make them 3 tall, maybe that would be a bit too much now. I might be overdoing things at this point. Yeah, alright, let's go back to just the original 2 blocks tall. I do like messing around with these, but, you know, I feel like I do need to limit myself with what I'm actually doing. So, I've finished the main part of this room. The next thing I'm going to do is actually add in some arcades here. And with there being an entire section dedicated to these, I feel like it's not going to take me long to fill this room up. There's actually a lot of things here. We got, does that say Pizzeria Simulator? Yeah, it's Pizzeria Simulator. Oh, there's a pixel missing right there. Oh, this mod is unplayable. I'm just picturing how many armor stands this would be made up of if I were to do this without the use of mods. Good lord, does this make things a bit easier, because I can just picture how much it would take just for me to do the simplest things like this. But with mods, I can just place down a block and it's right there. I really am enjoying this though. Again, I am starting to see the appeal behind it. It is definitely a lot easier. And I'm not calling it a skill issue if you're not good at building, which is what all of this stuff is for. You can just place down a block and bam, the entire decoration is done for you. But I can see how they're so popular, just being able to have highly detailed items like this and just placing the blocks down and it's immediately right there. And that's Princess Quest. I'm not even looking at the names. At this point, there's so many decorations. I'm going all over the place. There is so much stuff to look at. Flush Trap Chaser. Is that... Oh god, okay. Okay, I think this is as far as I'm going to go with the arcades. I don't want to fill up this room too much, as what I was thinking actually is instead of continuing on the arcades to this wall here, since I have these windows here, the arcades would block them off. What if I were to just put some, like, dining chairs or something, so that way the arcades are right here, and then you could just sit down right here. So, let's see, is there any, like, booth item or something? Booth, I can spell correctly. Diner booth. What does that look like? If I just put these in front of the windows like that, I actually... Wait, I might be onto something. Hang on. And then if I look for any tables, what tables could I use? Again, I don't want to use any of these colorful ones as it's going to take away too much. I might just use these. That actually looks really good. So what if I just continue this on this side of the wall here? So one more there, one more there. Yeah, this is what I'm going to do. And what I might do as well, just to finish it off, is let me find some checkered... no, I want some blocks. What would they be called? Tiles? What if I use some normal colored black and white tiles? And then just like section this part off right here. Okay, yeah, this is definitely what I want to do. I went ahead and changed the black and white to be red and white. And I think it looks a lot better. It just sections things off a little bit more. Just so that there's tiled floors where you would sit down, maybe have something to eat, maybe, I'm not sure. And then just to fill up these gaps, I went ahead and moved the pinball machines here, moved these machines to this corner, and then added in some skee balls here. So I think overall this room is pretty much done. I don't know what else I'd really want to do with it. Again, I feel like if I go too much, it's then going to start taking away from the build. So what I think I'm going to do to finish up is maybe put some plushies here. So just something to put on the window. Maybe I'll put a present as well. So these are very large plushies. I didn't think they were going to be so big, actually. I've only got 3 of them, so I'll just do something like that. Yeah, I think that's good, actually. I think I've done everything I've wanted to here. Can't think of anything else. I'm going to go ahead and put a roof on this, and then maybe I'll just copy the entire thing over to this side, and then we can move on to the party rooms. Alright, so now both arcade rooms have been completely added, and you'll notice that I actually decided to change the color of this one, so that way it wasn't just the exact same. And even the interior is quite a bit different, as I really did want to go with not a completely different theme, but at least a different layout. So you can see what I've done is added not 1, but 2 different ball pits next to these windows here, and then added a few of the arcade machines that I wasn't able to put in the other one just because I ran out of space. I've also decided to add in a few of these tables on either side with some extra plushies and presents. I also decided to add in Prize King into this one as I really wanted to put him somewhere. And finally, the last thing I've added is some speakers in these rooms, as I have a feeling that there would be music blasting in some of these rooms. Now this one is actually facing the wrong direction. There we go. And of course you can see I really wanted to put this somewhere. I went ahead and put the plush trap chaser in that corner as well. So the next thing I'm going to work on now that these 2 rooms have been added is probably the party rooms. I'll just make my way around in a circle before I make my way towards the main stage. I'm going to do the exact same theming again, where I use the curtain trimmings for the main wall and then the tiled blocks for the bottom and top floor. And then I'll see what I do for decorations, as they are a bit smaller than I thought they were going to be looking at it now. But I did want to make the arcade rooms a lot bigger since there was a lot more things that I could put inside of them. Now as for the floor, since this is a party room, there needs to be some proper tiling in place, as food is going to be coming in and out of this room. So let's see, I've got blue walls, so I don't really want to use... I feel like that's going to be too much. I really don't want to use the normal generic black and white. Try something like this. I will be putting borders around them as well. If you haven't noticed already, I've been putting a border around every single room just because it just separates things a little bit more. Yeah, see, I feel like that's too much blue here. Even with the red. What if I go back to the original red and white that I had at the very start of the video? Alright, so I've just gone ahead and kept it as the default red and white tiles throughout the entire room. Now that I've tried out all the different surrounding blocks, I don't think this is as bad as I originally thought it was. Now what I have done actually is made a small entryway right here for a small supply closet. I realized I never really made a proper space for one, so having one in each party room I think is going to make a bit of sense. But now that I've put the ceiling in places, I'm trying to find out how I can put some windows here, because it's finally hit me that I've built a giant circle here, and trying to make windows with these window blocks is a little difficult, especially with this border around them. I don't think I can get rid of them either, so just trying to mess around with different combinations here. I mean, this doesn't look too bad. That's not bad, actually. I know from different angles it kind of blocks it out because of the borders around them. Honestly, I don't think that's all that bad. Yeah, I really do want to add some windows into place, and it does make sense with this being a party room. There needs to be more light in here, so that way things are able to be seen more. So now that this room is mostly just checker patterns, I think that I am able to use some of these more colorful tables now, instead of just the normal wooden table or the black or white checkered ones. I'm going to try something, maybe go all out purple in this room. Well, this is blue, so... let's see, maybe go with the striped tables. Let's see what this is going to look like. See, my normal Minecraft builder is getting to me where I'm trying to texture 2 different types of blocks together, and I end up with things like this, which don't really look good. I have to just get used to using the same block over and over for things like this. See, this looks perfectly fine, so I'm just going to continue using this. And if anything, I think just one big table in the middle of the room is going to be more than enough. So now I can go ahead and take the chairs and just put a bunch of them alongside each other. And once again, it's really nice just being able to do this and not have to worry about making a giant chair with multiple blocks around it. Let's go ahead and add a clock in this room, actually. I haven't really put many around the place. Maybe put something in this corner. Yeah, that doesn't look bad. And I also want to add in a few balloons. I've been seeing these quite a lot, and they've also been jump scaring me quite a lot. I don't expect their breaking noise to be so loud. Just put a few of these around to decorate the place a bit more. There's lots of types of balloons, actually. There's just these single balloons as well, which I guess could work better to be on a table. Maybe if I do something a bit more like this for the time being. And then is there any just pizza items? What do these look like? Yeah, there you go. I can just do something like this for the time being. I don't want to put too much on the table. I'm saying that, but now... Party hats. That's something I didn't think of. So actually... Oh, these aren't 3D. I was expecting these to be 3D like the rest of them. Are you sure? This is the only one? Alright, well that's fine actually. Let's go with some of these ones. How big are these? Okay. Yeah, I could put a few of these around actually. And those are just single block ones. Honestly, yeah. I think that works. Not there. I don't even know why it lets me put it there. Just put stuff like this around. I don't think it's all that bad. Yeah, honestly, I like that. Again, trying to mix things up a bit, which is why I'm now going to go back to placing more plushies around. I actually like how this turned out. So let's go ahead and finish this up by adding this tiny little supply closet thing. So once again, I'm going to need another door, backstage, parts and service, blast door. All right, here, this doesn't need to be too complicated anyway. So I'll just go ahead and put a utility shelf there. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Although, how big is the storage shelf? Okay, that goes in another box. Yeah, that one's a bit better. And this can stay in the corner right there. So yeah, there doesn't need to be too much going on in this room. In fact, what I'll go ahead and do as well is make it a little bit smaller or shorter. Put a light bulb there. Maybe put a wall phone somewhere. I feel like there should be wall phones around the place so that way staff can communicate from across the building. Maybe I'll just put it right here actually. Just put it next to the doorway. I'm sure no one's going to mess around with it. I'm sure it'll be fine. Yeah, I think this turned out a lot better than I thought it would actually. So I'm going to do the exact same thing over on the other side for the second party room. I might change it up a bit just like how I did with the arcades. I just need to figure out what block I'm going to use because again, I want to go with a different color. So I've done green, I've done red, I've done blue. Maybe I want to do magenta, but I've done purple as well. Yellow? I feel like I should do... Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do yellow. So at least we have the main colors of the main animatronics. So let's go yellow. Do we have yellow curtain? Yep, of course we do. Feel like that's all we really need. Yeah, okay. Let's go ahead and get this room done, and then I'll cut back in a minute once I've figured out what I'm actually doing. As someone who rarely touches mods, and when I do, they're mostly utility items like mini maps, world edit, things like that. I never really use mods. I never use mods where they add basically an entire new game to Minecraft. Like, especially with this FNAF stuff. I've been doing map making for FNAF for, what, nearly over 3 years now, I guess, Security Breach. I've done something like this before back in the Bedrock edition of Minecraft, where I once again used different mods and add-ons for things. But honestly, it's nice going back to it. Doing the same thing over and over does get a bit repetitive, but I'm curious to see how this would compare to something that I would do without use of mods. In fact, what I might do once I've finished is maybe recreate this exact same pizzeria, but without the use of mods. That might be a fun thing to try, actually. I'll tell you what this mod needs, actually, and I don't know if this is just me being silly. It needs the jukebox. Where's the neon jukebox? Why is there no jukebox in this mod? Come on, get to it. L mod. Yeah, so not too much to talk about with this one. It's relatively the exact same. All I decided to do was change up the pattern for the tables, which is using a checker pattern. I've also decided to put a few of the cutouts around the place, but other than that, it's pretty much the exact same room with the exact same layout again. So let's move on to something that's going to be a bit less repetitive. And I guess we should probably just move on to the main show stage right here, as it is the next room to do. I've already gone ahead and planned out the stage a while ago. I still probably might make it a little bit bigger. I don't know how the animatronics are going to look. I haven't seen what any of the animatronics look like outside of screenshots or anything, so I'm not entirely sure what I want to do with the stage just yet. But I do have an idea of what I want to put around the place, so more chairs, maybe a few arcades. You know, just mess around with a few different things. It can be like a central hub with a mix of different decorations that I've already put around the place. I should probably add in the rest of the room, like the flooring, and I want to experiment with some different types of blocks. I don't know what an error block is, but I'm gonna go with it. I want to see if I can match each corner of this main room with each of the different colors from the party room. So for example, this one right here, are there any red tiles? There's red and blue, there's red and black. Of course there's no yellow ones though. There's always something, huh? I mean, I could do orange. Eh. I don't like that. Alright, so instead I've decided to go with something a bit like this, where I still have a bit of separation in the floor, where I have some arcade carpets next to the arcades, but the majority of the floor is going to be these white and red checker patterns, which honestly I think looks pretty good. Now I did have to reduce the size of the stage as I think it was taking up way too much space, especially as we're only going to have 4 animatronics up here, so what I'm going to do now is probably finish up the walls of these rooms, so that way I at least have a full enclosed room, and then I can work on putting on all of the decorations around it. I feel like white stands out a bit too much. I wanted to go with somewhat of a kitchen theme, and I'm actually debating if I just use this color, or if I go more purple here. White definitely does not work though. Actually, you know what? I just thought of an idea. What if I continue these 2 corner rooms out a bit more, because there isn't too much blue here anyway right now. So what if I just continue this pattern out a bit more, but keep the purple for the kitchen? I want to see what that looks like. I think I've got the main room now sorted. It's just going to be figuring out the ceiling now, as it's been my entire plan. This entire build has been centered around it. I've got to somehow put a glass dome out here and figure out how the rest of the room is going to connect to it. I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm struggling to decide if I think this looks good or if it looks like something that came out of Poppy Playtime. That's a lot better. What I have decided to do is still split it up by using the same block as I've used throughout the rest of the build, just so that it's not all of the same type of block. I did remove these spikes and it was too much, and I think I'm going to go with this. This looks a lot better than the thing I was messing around with. I like to try different things in all of my builds. I never like building the same way more than once, and I think I'm going to keep with this. Right, now let's actually get on to decorating everything. I know I said I wanted to leave these windows uncovered, however, I feel like I should put a few arcades along like this. I mean, you could still see through, right? How bad is it? Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, no. Yeah, I don't think that looks bad. Maybe I might extend this just one more block so that way it's not directly next to the tiles. Oh. What I'm thinking about doing now is actually taking this corner right here and turning it into the prize counter, because I've got arcades, but I don't have anywhere to collect a reward. So I'm thinking if I just make a small little prize counter here, let's take some of these red blocks so that way it fits with the rest of it, and just put something small right here. This is not even something I ever really thought about putting in this build, but I think it could work really well, actually. I can put a cutout right here. I can then put some shelves along this wall here. Of course, that was going to end up like that. And these actually fit pretty well. That might be a bit too much there. How's that going to work? Does this break anything? Nah, you can't even tell, really. I will say that these shelves are a bit of a pain to place and break, but 3 shelves like that, I think that looks pretty good. That's more than enough, actually. Can I get a second prize king? Can I get away with a second prize king? I mean, I don't see why not. Who's to stop me anyway? There are character masks. I'm not sure. Can I place these? No. Press control R to use. That's not what I wanted. Would it be too much to just put the entire Freddy Fazbear head? It's too much to put the entire Freddy Fazbear head. Let's just stick with... Oh, really? You're gonna put shelves in this mod and you're gonna make them just so small so that way they... Alright, that's annoying. Maybe these? Can I do anything with these, actually? Or are these just props? Can I place these down? Oh, I can. You know? Actually, you know what? I think that works better than I thought it would, actually. I can't place the microphone down. Yeah, honestly, I don't think that's just that bad. You can just imagine these being foam or plastic props instead of just being the actual thing. But at least it fills up the price counter. Honestly, I'm not upset about this. I think it works really well. Debating if I want a second carousel. How does that look? That might be too much now. Is there any other big prop that I could put there in its place? Maybe another prize king? Oh, you animate. Not sure how I feel about them animating. I would have expected them to be still objects if I have to be honest with you. They're also way too close to each other, so I'm gonna have to move one slightly further away from the other. Yeah, I gotta be honest, I'm not a huge fan of them moving around like that. If they were solid objects, maybe it would have worked a bit better. Put one there, and put one there. So yeah, I've pretty much just done the exact same thing on the other side as well. I went through a few other options before settling on a second carousel. None of the other bigger props really worked the way I wanted them to. So let's finish the place up by adding in some booths, some tables, which I'm gonna go back to using the classic checker pattern for. And I'm just gonna put these on either side around here, so a few of them next to the stage. I'll put them back to back as well. Maybe move it a bit for... What was that? What? Who's... Okay, that makes more sense. I was gonna say, who's sitting like that? Alright, so put that there, and just move everything back a block. Let's see if I can do something at the back here as well. I don't want to do too much, because then it's gonna take away from the wide open area. It's gonna make everything feel more cluttered than it needs to be. What do we have now? 3, 6, 7, 8 different chairs. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32 different chairs. I feel like that's way more than enough, and we still have plenty of space around the stage itself, so that way we'll still be able to get up and see the animatronics on the stage itself. Which, speaking of which, I guess I should probably get around to doing that actually, so... Let me start by putting some speakers in the corners around, so that way the music is going to be heard while it's being played. And let's take a look at the animatronics now. So Freddy, I guess I'm going with the statues, right? I'm going with the statues here, I'm not sure. Bonnie, Chica is this one, and Foxy. Thank you for being the first result here. Okay, so Freddy, I guess, should be facing... Which way? Towards the stage? I feel like Foxy should be facing towards the stage, so let's put Freddy here. You're not facing towards me. Please rotate. There you go. Alright. So Freddy's just standing right there, and we'll put Bonnie on this side. Please face this way. I really like the convenience of just being able to click on them and rotate them around like this. There we go. Put you there. And then finally, Foxy, we'll put you right there. Are they too close to each other? Maybe. Just move them forward a little bit. I'm not going to go precise with them being in the center of the block. If anything, it makes them look a bit more lifelike. Yeah, it's definitely a lot better. They were way too close to each other. They were way too close to the edge of the stage. I definitely think this is a whole lot better now. And it still leaves me space to do something in the middle here. I don't exactly know what I could do. And that might actually just be filling up the stage for the sake of it. But I'll look quickly just in case. Now, there's also stage lights as well, which is something I didn't even think about. Hopefully these aren't too much of a pain to deal with. What am I looking for? The Faz wrench. Let's see. They say they're able to be rotated. Is it by 90 degrees or is it 45 degrees? Thank you very much. Whoever made this mod, thank you for being good at what you do. This would be so less convenient if it wasn't for these small changes like that. There we go. Go ahead and lock that. They're facing outward. Can I put these on the ceiling? I can put them on the ceiling. Whoever did this. See, here's the thing, when I look at mods like stuff like this now, I'm not even looking at the actual mod content, I'm looking at the small quality of life changes like that. I guess that's what happens when I get into not the game development side of things, but I guess the game development side of things. Whoever did this, good on you, and thank you, because this just makes everything so much better. But honestly, I feel like I've done everything I really need. I've got the spotlights, I've got the speakers around. Maybe I could put a few more along the corners of the room. That's a bit too close to the edge. We'll just put some there. Put another one there. I'll do the same in the corners of the room, so there we go. Just 4 more speakers around the place. It's going to be very loud, but it is what it is. Another cutout, actually. I feel like there should be... Let's go ahead and put a Chica cutout in this corner here. There we go. Yeah, I feel like this is way more than enough. If I do any more, it's going to start filling in this empty space here, and it's just going to feel too crowded. So I actually really like how this has turned out. Honestly, I really like it. Once again, these guys are very big. I don't know why these animatronics are so tall. Maybe they didn't look good in a smaller form. Definitely not scaled to the size of the player, but they still look really good on the stage regardless. I'm really happy with how all of this is turning out. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the bathrooms next, where I'm actually finally going to be using the default checker pattern. So I'll just make this simple. I don't feel like there needs to be too much going on. In fact, I already saw that there's an item for the stalls, so yeah, there we go. Bathroom stall. How many can I fit here? Yeah, that works. Can I get 2? 2 is probably as best as I'm going to get here, actually. What if I just do something like this? Do these fit here? Yeah, okay. That's not bad, honestly. I can just do something like this. It's a lot better than having those giant stalls there. And also, it lets me add a few more than if I didn't. So, doors, let's just go with a teal door. Put that right there. Yep, that all works well. Go ahead, do this. Are there any slabs that I can use? There are. So, I'm going to put slabs on the top like that. Maybe get rid of these ones. Or maybe just make it a bit taller. And then add these at the top here. There we go. So I still haven't given into my my goal of not using any vanilla blocks just yet. However, I now need to figure out what sink I'm going to use. Maybe if I just use something like this. Just upside down staircases. Anything for the sink. I can't believe they have a toilet, they have a stall, but they don't have a sink. What about this? Can I get away with this? Actually, I'm using wall lights for this. But honestly, it doesn't even look that bad. I can't find anything for the mirror itself, so I think I'm just going to leave this as it is. But honestly, this turned out a lot better than I thought it was going to. So I'm just going to put a ceiling on this, do the exact same thing on the other side, and then we might as well move on to something a bit more exciting like the security office. Let's start with the kitchen just because it's the bigger of the 3, and the other 2 are pretty much the exact same shape. So let's get this room out of the way with first. I don't see it being too difficult to add. As long as there are oven blocks, it should be relatively easy. There are not. What do these look like? They're a bit too long. What about these ones? Finding some of these hitboxes is a bit difficult. Yeah, what if I just do something like this, and then put a single one right there? So if I just put shelves here, I don't think it looks too bad. There's pizza boxes as well, which I haven't really messed around with. If I just put something like this, does this open up? Oh, it does. Oh, look at that. Oh, I can put it on the... I didn't even think about putting it on the bottom. Yeah, obviously I can put it at the bottom. So if I just do something like this, I don't think that looks bad anymore. No, yeah, just decorating it up a little bit. I'm gonna get some paper as well. So these can be like the orders, if they can go on the wall like that. There we go. Put a few more there. Yeah, I don't think that's definitely not a bad start. I'm thinking about Into the Pit and the giant oven that game has. I wonder if I can recreate something similar. Maybe if I have 2 of them, so try to get somewhat of a decent shape started here. If I do something like that, are there any walls in this mod? Or is it purely just blocks? No, it seems to be just blocks. Okay, that's fine. I can work with that. So what if I just then do that? Man, looks like a top hat. I'm trying to go with like a Freddy Fazbear face, in a way. I don't think that's that bad, honestly. Fridge? Is there anything I can use as a fridge block, maybe? Maybe some more of these types of blocks? I'm really trying my best to be creative here. Should be away from the oven, so... maybe just something like that. I mean... doesn't look the best when it's just a solid color. I mean, it's not terrible either. And then we can put pizza decoration there, and then just for the sake of it, another one there. Yeah, honestly, it's relatively simple. This isn't the most complicated kitchen you've ever seen. However, it still looks really nice regardless. I'm keeping the checker patterns throughout the rest of the kitchen, and I'm actually using the proper kitchen blocks. I really like this block here. This might be one of my favorites so far, the mix of the white and red with the black border and the rest of the white blocks. I think this works really well with it. I might try make something else in the future with these blocks, just to see. Let's go ahead and add in some final decorations, not stars. And let's get some of the pizzas as well. There we go. I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not going to touch the kitchen anymore. I promise I'm done this time. So that leaves these two rooms in the corners here. So this one is going to be... I guess I should make this one the parts and service. So let's actually start with the door this time. Hey, look, there's a parts and service door. What do I make the floor? I feel like I should just continue doing this checker pattern. I don't see why the parts and service room needs to be so degraded all the time. It is part of the building. I don't know why someone would all of a sudden decide this room right here in particular should look messy for some reason. Where is this door? So I'm just going to go along with the kitchen theming, and I'm probably going to do the same with the office as well. So from the outside, it's still going to have this blue wall. However, the inside is going to use this lighter white color, and I'll mess around with some different decorations on the inside. I don't think I'll add in any wires or anything like that, going off what I was just saying. However, there is still some space to add in some of the broken down animatronics. I did see a few of them around. Yeah, here we got Parts and Service Freddy, Bonnie, and Chica. I just made a video with those guys. Assume they're just gonna be sitting on top of a block like that. Yep. And last one there. Okay, so no Foxy. I don't think. Does this look bad? There's a little bit peeking out here, but I have seen frames. I wonder. Nope. There we go. Some of these blocks are really a pain to place. Some trash along the floor there. This sign is also a lot bigger than I thought it would be. Once again, these shelves, man. This shelf, honestly, I'm just going to get rid of it. For the last time, just going to get rid of it. These look like custom player heads. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I know I said I was done. I'm just going through one last time just to see. Maybe I can put some spare chairs down. Maybe a digital clock. Why not? Just mess around with different things, honestly, in this room. Put that there. I suppose I should probably stack these on top of each other. That doesn't really work. Just something like this. I don't know. I'm just messing around at this point. I feel like that's good enough. What I can now do, I promise this is the last thing, put a small shelf just on top like that. How does this look when I put things on top of it now? A lot better, actually. Okay, so now I can actually go ahead and put things like Foxy's hook. I don't know if that's how I'm going to find it. Hook. There we go. Put that on that shelf there. And I don't know if Bonnie's guitar would fit, so I'll just finish it up by putting Freddy's microphone wherever. There we go. Okay, I think that's all I'm going to do now. I'm going to finally finish this up. I'm just going to put a roof on it, and that'll be the end of it. So that now leaves the final room to be the security office. So once again, we have the exact same amount of space here. So the first thing I'm going to do once again is just use the exact same blocks as the kitchen, and I'm going to see how I'm going to make this work. And again, it might be a bit smaller than you would have liked. However, I'm actually completely fine with this, as it means I don't have to struggle to figure out what I'm going to fill the room up with. If I was working with a massive security office, I would probably struggle figuring out what props to make it actually look like an office. However, this bit seems a bit more realistic, with it just being a slim rectangle like this, and I'm sure I will have more than enough space to put the little materials I need. Let's figure out how this works. So if I put you there, okay, yeah, that looks like how I wanted it to be. And if I just put, I don't know, where do I want to put this? I assume I'm going to put the desk like right here. So what if I put the lever next to the desk? So obviously this isn't going to do anything right now. However, if I connect the two, door linked. Nice. Let's go ahead and find our desk items, which, I mean, we have a lot of desks to choose from the looks of it. So we got the classic FNAF 1 desk, which is what you'd expect it to be. A retro desk, which fairly boring. It's got a fan on it. That's about it. And then Fazbear's Fright. I actually like the Fast Bear Sprite one. It's got the hot dog and everything. I might just use this one. I don't want to make my own. I did see the modular item. I guess I could make my own if I wanted. Can I put blocks on top of it, though? Because I see these monitors here. Can I actually... I can. That starts to cover up things, though. I'm just going to stick with the modular desk. I think that's going to be best. As for the monitor, I'll just go ahead and put this in the center right here. Let's go ahead and get ourselves a chair. For this one, I'll use the actual office chair this time. Here we go. Pretty sure I saw some lockers. I sure did. Let's just put a few of them in this corner here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4. 4 is more than enough. Trash can, let's get a phone. Obviously we need the fan. I'll go ahead and turn that on as well. Since we've got a phone here, I guess I don't really need this wall phone. In this corner, I've got these shelves. How many of these can I put around? There we go, that's more than enough. We'll put the poster just above right there. Put a corkboard right here, so that fills up plenty of space. Put the rules there just in case, and then... Did I put the trash can down? I did. Okay, so already you can see, this is pretty much what an office needs. There doesn't need to be too many items going on in here. Put the vending machine there. Yeah, I like that. As for the boxes, let's just start a pile in the corner here. That's good enough. Yeah, I do like the addition of the vending machine, actually. Let's go ahead and finish this off by putting some more posters around the place. So I'll just keep the same ones that I've been using throughout this entire build. Don't really see the need for any other ones, so I'll just go ahead and put one there, another one there. Chica on the other side, let's fix that actually. And then we'll put a Final Freddy poster there, and let's move this poster to be actually in front of the desk like that. There is still this empty space. Let's just, I know what I need to do. Just there, that's fine. Honestly, it's very simple, but I like it, so I guess I can sit in the chair properly. I'm actually at the desk now. Do I have access to the lever? I don't. Actually, I do. It's just out of reach, but I do have access to the lever right there. The phone doesn't do anything. Let me go ahead and swap these around, actually. Yeah, there we go. That's a lot better. So now I actually have clear access to the lever, and I can close the door at any time. And I guess we're done with our pizzeria. How long have I been doing this for? I've been recording for just under 4 hours, like literally 3 hours and 58 minutes. I don't know how much of this is actually going to make it to the video. I'm very curious. I haven't done a video like this in a long time, but honestly, I've been having a whole lot of fun with this, so I'm curious to see. But yeah, I think that is everything I wanted to do with the interior to the pizzeria, so let's go ahead and go through it all one more time before I then move on to the exterior. So of course, to start, we're in the lobby, and we have these 2 set of double doors that lead out to what I assume will be the parking lot in just a minute. We have a registration booth right here at the front where we have space for 2 different employees, and then we have 2 different walkways to lead to one of the 2 different arcades. So in this one we have the green room, I guess I can call this the green room, where we start out with mostly these stand-up arcade machines of different types. We've got the flatbed table ones as well. Lots of plushies with some windows behind them that look out to the outside of the building, and a few seats so that way we can sit down, have a little bit of a break, and look out to what's going on the show stage in the middle of the room. Then at the end of the room we have the first of 2 party rooms, where we of course have our party table with some tables and chairs, some hats, some pizzas, and some balloons. Another window that looks out to the outside, and then in the corner of the room we have a tiny supply closet with just a bucket, a mop, and some supplies on this rack here. On the other side of the pizzeria we have a very similar thing going on, where we have another arcade room, this time with 2 ball pits though instead of a seating area. We have a prize king, some claw machines, some basketball nets, some skee ball, so just some different arcade machines, so that way if you don't want to play a video game, you can go over and play some of the physical games instead. But once again, at the end of the room, there's another party room, this time in yellow, where we pretty much have the exact same thing going on with some tables and chairs, a supply closet in the corner with the exact same thing, and another window that looks to the outside of the building. But that leads us to the main party room, where of course the main focus is going to be on the center stage here. We have a stage in the middle of the room with Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy, and a skylight dome above them, which I'm actually really happy with how that turned out as well. I did want to add some more natural light to the build, especially with all the windows around the place, and I do think that this was one of the best additions I could have added to the build. And it honestly makes it stand out a whole lot more. Even if it's daytime or nighttime, there's going to be that extra light shining on top of the animatronics. Of course, we then have the prize counter right next to the show stage with a few different props and decorations on the shelves, and then this doorway just leads to the registration booth that we saw at the lobby. Then on either side of that, we have 2 bathrooms of the exact same colors and blocks. Still really happy with how this turned out. It was definitely not intended to be used this way. However, I really didn't want to use any vanilla Minecraft blocks. And I think I actually managed to do that. I don't think I used a normal Minecraft block once, maybe aside from the glass. I just thought about that actually. The glass here is the only normal block I used. Everything else here is in modded Minecraft. Then on the other side of the room, we have the kitchen with the double Freddy Fazbear ovens, which I'm really happy with how they turned out, especially considering I still didn't use any vanilla blocks. We once again have some more of the same types of sinks. We have a counter here with some pizzas and pizza boxes, a shelving unit, nothing too much going on in the kitchen. The main focus is going to be on these double pizza ovens here. So more excitingly, on either side of it, we first have the backstage parts and service room with Freddy, Bonnie, Chica in a disrepaired state, and some just bonus props to go around the place and some replacements that would go in the normal pizzeria whenever they're needed. And then finally, what we just finished going over is of course the security office, where we have a working door. This is honestly really satisfying. I really do like that slight bounce animation of the door there. Got a vending machine, some lockers, of course the main security office with the camera system in front of us, the fan, posters, and just other office decorations that you'd find in your normal office. So overall, I'm very happy with how this turned out actually, especially considering this is my first time messing around with mods in a long time. It's my first time ever using this mod. Once again, I have never used this mod, I have never looked into it. I just downloaded it and decided to figure out what I was doing as I went along. And honestly, I'm very happy with how this turned out. I really like the theme of the giant pizza-shaped pizzeria, and I like what I was able to do with it. So now I just got to figure out what I want to do for the exterior, because right now this looks a bit awkward. Now I don't want to do a full exterior around the entire thing. I think I'm just going to do a simple parking lot at the outside here behind these double doors, and then I'll figure out what I'm going to do from there. For all I know, I'm going to do like what I did with my Pizzaplex. I just put a bunch of trees around the place to cover up what I don't want you to see. An idea I have actually, what if I put cardboard cutouts of the animatronics up here? I'm just curious as to what this is going to look like. I was going to put these around the place, but honestly, I think I prefer this a lot better. So you can see everything I've done so far. I haven't done too much, really just started on the front walkway here. I put some stage lights down so that way it can show off the sign at nighttime, a few stars, some canopies, but what I really wanted to show off was the cardboard cutouts out here. As I said, I wasn't going for a castle look, but honestly, with them hiding above the wall there, I feel like I've unintentionally done that, and it's not a bad thing. I do like that the way this has turned out so far. I just, once again, don't want to overdo things. Which is why the parking lot is probably not going to be very interesting at all. Although I'm not sure. I feel like I've always done bland and boring parking lots. I feel like I can do something a little more interesting this time. So let's see. What if I do a pathway down the... Let's start by splitting it down the middle. Let's have like a walkway going on down here, and we'll split the parking lot into 2 sides. Alright, I think I'm going to leave it at that. I'm pretty happy with how this has turned out actually, especially that it's a lot different compared to what I would normally do. Usually I just put a strip of stone, texture it a little bit, and put a few parking spaces and call it a day. This time I decided to go on and have a full environment, make the parking lot differently shaped than normal, where I actually have 2 sides to it. And I really like how this turned out actually. We of course have the main entryway right here, where then the cars can park either directly in front of them, or they can take the turn and park at this other way here. Either way, having this main walkway here in the middle is definitely something I haven't really done before, and it once again just helps to add to the castle look that we have going on here. Either way though, I'm very happy with how all of this has turned out, and I really hope that you enjoyed this as well. This is something completely different from what I would normally do, however I still had a lot of fun doing this regardless. I'm going to leave it at that though. I've been recording for 4.5 hours, which was a lot longer than I thought I was going to, but I had a whole lot of fun just looking around at all of the different things that this mod has to offer, and then making my own custom pizzeria with it. So let me know down in the comments if you want to see more stuff like this in the future, or if you want me to make a working modded map, as I'm pretty sure I could mess around with some of these animatronic entities and actually make a fully functional working FNAF game just like how I've done without mods. I'm really curious to see how that would work. So once again, if you want me to do that, make sure to let me know down in the comments. Finally, I'm going to bring it up one more time, but I do have a makeshift plushie petition going on right now, where there is only a few days left for you to support it at the time of this video being uploaded. So make sure you go join the link in the description down below or in the pinned comment, so that way you can make your CuppaTeaExe plushie come to life. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you everyone so much for watching, and I will of course see you in the next video.